Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. So the man that you see on screen right now, that's Shadrach Kasanda with his wife at the magistrate court earlier on today. So if you remember the gold scandal that happened at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, he was been implicated in that case, and the other accused individuals, the Egyptians and the foreign individuals, have gone back to their respective countries, and the case seems to have remained on him. So he's been making court appearances, and different sides of the story have been told. There was a time when there was a request to say such a case, because of the public interest in it, should be held in with the cameras in it, so that the public is updated of what's happening in court, and different sides of this. I mean, the argument have been issued where others are for it and others are not for it. Because at the moment, the Zambian judicial system does not allow for such a setup. So that has to be a constitutional directive where they allow cameras in court. As for now, we just get updates once the court hearing is done. And so these are some of the individuals that were part of the court case. The time that have been transferred to court in this bus sometime last year. But these individuals have been taken back to Egypt and the other countries that they came from. But a court update as of today, this is what has happened in this case. So this was reported by Kalemba and reposted by Movie TV. So they say deflated Kasanda appears in court on aggravated robbery charges. After several weeks of being held in detention on the charge of aggravated robbery, gold dealer Shadrach Kasanda was yesterday presented before court for explanation of the charge. The businessman has been faced with legal trouble in the aftermath of the gold scandal that happened at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in last August 2023. Yesterday, Kasanda was with defeat written all over his face. Was arraigned before Lusaka Magistrate Court on accusations of having robbed his gold client while he's armed with armed contrary to Section 294 or subsection of 2 Penal Code or Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. It is alleged that Kasanda on August 13th, 2023, while is armed with a pistol, stole $5 million from Egyptian Michael, and immediately after stealing, used or threatened to use the actual violence against the Egyptian national in order to prevent him from returning the stolen money. Kasanda, the charges explained to him by Magistrate George Njovo. Prosecutor Michael Ndue indicated that the accused should be brought to court next week, Monday, for the mention, as the Director of Public Prosecution had not yet issued a certificate of committal to the High Court for summary trial. Kasanda's lawyer, Nkula Botha, said the committal certificate if the committal certificate will not be ready at the next sitting, he will make an application for preliminary inquiry that the court may determine the elements of the offense. His other lawyer, Clement Andeleki, who is also UPND Kantobora, member of parliament, said the prolonged detention of his client was an extrajudicial mechanism to deprive Kasanda of his rights and a fair trial, as enshrined in Article 18 of the Constitution. As of today, he has been in detention for 7 months without committal. We thought we could alert the court on the next course of action, and Aleki said. So that's how this God issue was played out. So that was Kasanda during the trial where before the Egyptians left the country. But at the moment, it seems like the ball is simply in his court. And this is what they meant that he was deflated at the last court appearance. So that's him and his wife there. We wait and see how it plays out. There's been adjourned to 18th of this month. Let's see how that court case goes. In other news, OSIDA asks the United States of America to sanction Hakainde, Hichilema, and 6 others. So this is news that trended yesterday, where this organization had requested that the president of Zambia be sanctioned in his individual capacity, with 6 others cited in that particular. So this is just making the newspapers today. So same thing in the news diggers. So OSIDA call for sanctions on Hakainde, Hichilema. Begs U.S. to ban government leaders from traveling. So those are some of the headlines. Pretty much it's the same headline in different newspapers. But State House has decided to respond to this after it has trended. They had to make a statement. So State House denies allegations OSIDA petition against U.S. sanctions for Zambian officials. State House has refuted allegations on the rights abuses leveled by Civic Duty Association, or SIDA, in other words, commonly known, against President Hakainde, Hichilema, and other top officials. Grayson Amasaka, a communications specialist from State House, dismissed the claims as a collection of falsehoods aimed at discrediting the government. Yesterday, OSIDA petitioned the United States government to impose sanctions, including financial restrictions and travel bans on President Hakainde Hichilema, Inspector General of Police, Raphael Musamba, Electoral Commission Chairperson, Mwangala Zalumes, and others for alleged undermining democratic rights. The petition addressed to United States Ambassador Michael Gonzalez cited the restrictions of opposition rallies, judicial delay, and executive interference in the as justification for the sanctions. But Mr. Hamasaka highlighted the country's progress on democracy and urged OSIDA to prioritize national unity. He questioned the involvement of Archbishop Terrestrium Mpundu, citing his age, and suggested the document was originated from non-government critics. Citing Zambia's recent economic hardships and the ongoing fight against drought, Hamasaka urged that sanctions would only exacerbate the situation. He questioned how any rational individual could call for economic sanctions against a country already enduring so much. Even during the height of abuse under President Edgar Chagwa, where many people were murdered and others maimed by state-sponsored political thugs and police, no one, neither OSIDA nor any civil society organization, called for sanctions against Zambia. Masaka said, isn't it coincidental that OSIDA's statement is emerging at a time when Zambia has been recognized by VINDEM as one of the top 3 democratizing countries in the world, following the autocratic rule of Edgar Chagwa. He urged OSIDA to set aside personal animosity towards President Hakainde Hichilema and consider peace, unity, and the future of the country. OSIDA must not drive this country into lawlessness and fostering division among citizens. Mr. Grayson Amasaka from State House has said in response to those calls for sanctions to be placed on Hakainde Hichilema and 6 other individuals. What is Jack Mwimbu has noted the issue of the gun culture that has prevailed in the country in recent past, and he was asked to issue a parliamentary statement, which he did. So this is what he said. State to deal with emerging gun culture. In response to the growing concern over the firearm ownership and shooting incidences in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security has commenced a review of our Firearm Act. In a ministerial statement in Parliament yesterday, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbu, said the process has started with internal review before it can be subjected to consultation with other stakeholders. Mr. Mwimbu said currently the number of civilian firearms legally owned in Zambia is estimated to be 38,572. And the minister said the exact number of civilian owned firearms is impossible to pinpoint because of the variety of factors, including guns that go unregistered, illegal trade, and regional conflict. In the recent past, the country has witnessed with alarming rise of instances where firearm has been unlawfully discharged in public and private places. He noted, sadly, in some cases, life has been lost. Rarely as in a month gone by without the awful news of unlawful firearm discharge in homes and nightclubs or any other public place. Many communities, especially in high-density areas and rural places, are ravaged by almost daily by gun violence that does not make the news headlines. Mr. Mwimbu said some individuals have been used to take out innocent lives in communities after being engaged on as contract killers. He said, on the other hand, some individuals have taken their own lives using firearms and other legally owned or acquired through other means. Mr. Mwimbu said through the incidences indelible entrenched in the memories of people and have become taxing on law enforcement officials. So the Firearm Act is being reviewed in Zambia, and we wait and see how that plays out. So that's the news, ladies and gentlemen, so far. My YouTube channel. Make sure you click on the subscribe button, you click on the notifications to get the notifications of every video that I upload. I try to upload every week, sometimes every day of the week, but definitely each week you expect a video. So make sure you click on the subscribe, like this video, and there's much more on the playlist. So visit the channel and see you around.